Well, hello and welcome to Cozy Couch Corner again for another episode of Tea and Tarot. Got my tea. Not sure what temperature it is just now. Ooh, just a touch warm. Too warm, but almost perfect. And I'm very grateful that the guy that came around yesterday in the middle of the reading lent me an electric heater. So now I've got my little electric heater in front of me going to heat my room up a bit. Don't need it too warm, but I do need it comfortable. So, and I've had a much better morning, and I think that probably helped. That, and I try to get up closer to when I woke up because I just really don't want to get out of bed in the mornings. And deal with the dark and the cold. But yeah, I managed to get out of bed quicker, and instead of having snacks mid-morning, I made myself a small meal, which seemed to work better. I wasn't sure I'd be able to eat it, but I did. And I mean, some people might just call that a snack. It was wholemeal pita bread, which I made into a pizza. Smear a bit of pasta sauce on it, slap some extra mature cheddar on it, and a bit of red onion. And then try not to burn it under the grill because there was a sticky up bit, which got a bit toasty. But that was nice, and that kept me going. And I thought, oh, I won't need my lunch so early because I've had that. But actually, no, by 12 o'clock, I was proper hungry. So I had to get my dinner on. Anyway, doing a lot better. Still a bit random, but definitely a lot better. And this morning, the cows were in the field, the other side of the fence. And just now, before I started this, I went to check if the cows were still there. I can't see the cows, but the sheep are back. I haven't seen the sheep for months, not over here, and they're all galloping over the grass. Yeah, this year's lambs will probably be quite big now. So I don't think I'll see little lambs. When do they have them? Yeah, they probably, I don't know, they have them Easter or before Easter. So they'll be 6 months, won't they, or so, at least. And they tend to grow quite quickly anyway. So that'll be me looking at sheep for a little while after this, then going, oh, what they're doing. Because the young ones tend to be a bit more bouncy. And then I realised I've got a hole in my fence. So hopefully the lambs are big enough now, they're not going to end up in my garden. I mean, it wouldn't be a bad thing, but I don't know how safe it is for them really, and how safe the plants are for them. As getting the fence fixed is one of the things that's going to get done when I get the garden cleared. There's a couple of what do you call them? Panels, but at the bottom they're just like them sort of panels, and two of them come down. So they need slapping back up again, really. So I'll let you know if I end up with any sheep in my garden. Better do the tarot. I think the sun's trying to come out now. That'd be even nicer. Because other than that, we've had grey. But dry grey. Okay. What message do you have for us for Wednesday, the 15th of October, 2025, please? It's doing interesting things. It's moving around. Okay. Message for Wednesday, the 15th of October. Oh, right at the end. So there's not one behind it. We've got, oh, I better check what it is. 7 of Swords reversed. And I'm getting the word deception. Normally it's deception. It can be deception. Do you want to look at the bottom of the deck? Are we using the card on the bottom of the deck? No. What about this one? Yes. If you're regular, you'll know we've got this card again. I think it's the 3rd day in the row. We've had the 10 of Cups. Happy ever after card. Emotional fulfillments. Can be found family, like family, tribe. Really, if it's emotional fulfillment, it's whatever fulfills you emotionally, isn't it? And that could be different for different people. So, yay. So, that's where we want to go. 10 of Cups is where we want to go. Happy ever after. So, how are we getting there? Not through deception. You're still making it difficult to see. So things are still obscured. So there's things that we haven't necessarily uncovered yet. They're internal. And sometimes when I look at this card, I see the fox. Is he a fox or a wolf? Blowing smoke out of his arse. And I'm getting that again. Blowing smoke out your ass. Talking rubbish. Are we listening to? We're listening to people that are talking rubbish. Some of us are listening to people that are talking rubbish, and we believe it. And it might have altered our belief system and our values. And at the moment, there's a lot of division, isn't there? And people are inciting people to division. I'm not sure that's the right word. People are trying to make it. If people ever try and make it about them and us, then it's generally some kind of an abusive situation, because it's usually us are better than them. We are superior in some way as a group, and that's usually how vile things end up happening. A lot of the isms, racism, sexism, I'm sure there's a lot of other things, but yeah, it's beware of people dividing us. We're all humanity, but deciding that we're better than other people based on X, Y, and Z is just fueling the conflict energy. And that's what we're trying to get away from. We want to fill the world with peace energy, with loving energy, with kindness energy. That doesn't mean that we don't have good boundaries and we don't protect ourselves, because we do, because there are people that aren't safe to be around. So yeah, good boundaries, but it's the energy. If we are peaceful, I mean, if we were all peaceful, if every person on the planet was peaceful, there wouldn't be any war. There probably wouldn't be any trouble, would there? But we're not in that situation at the moment. But that doesn't mean that we don't make a difference, because we do. Every time you choose peace over conflict, and that doesn't mean that you allow people to walk all over you and that you're a doormat, because we're not doing that either, because that's just encouraging them to be shitty to people, and we're not doing that. But we don't have to start the thing. We don't have to do them and us thing with large groups of people or even minorities. Quite often at the moment, recently, it's been division, and it's picking on minorities. It's just bizarre at the moment. It's bizarre. I mean, the UK, there's a lot of stuff going on, but picking on trans people, and I know that's happened in America as well, it's just ridiculous. It's just, it just seemed to come out of nowhere, and it doesn't make any sense. It's like, I don't care who's it, if it's a trans person in a bathroom. What I do worry about is the people that have started the problem, that are obsessed with other people, and the women that are getting called out in bathrooms, in public bathrooms, and getting threatened are cis females. Because we don't all look femme, do we? We don't all look like people think women should. I mean, how they decide what a woman looks like and what. Oh, you can't tell the difference. It's ridiculous, but it's made it. It's more ridiculous because it's made it difficult for cis. It's caused problems for trans people, but it's caused problems for cis people as well, because it's mostly cis people that are getting called out in single sex spaces, and it's just gone ridiculous, and it's hit kids at school. Oh. Anyway, don't get conned into the them and us thinking, or the black and white thinking. I mean, when you're in a cult, it's them and us. We were the only true brand of Christianity, and everyone else was inadvertently working for Satan. So all the other Christians were wrong, all the other religions were wrong, and we're better than them, and we're going to get saved at Armageddon, and they're not. And it's the whole superiority them and us thing in a lot of different areas, isn't it? People have been commenting on it lately, which is probably why it's fresh in my mind. But a lot of cult thinking is black and white thinking. And a lot of life, there are grey areas, and there is with people. There's a lot of grey areas. I went off on one. Get to the bottom of things, because I'm looking at a bottom. Get to the bottom of things. So, we started off with some blowing smoke out their ass. So someone's filling, some people are getting their heads filled with just absolute rubbish, but it might sound really convincing. I may very well be convinced, but it's back to critical thinking, isn't it? And realising that what is the agenda? What is the agenda behind what they're saying? What are they trying to get you to do? What reaction are they trying to get, and how are they trying to do that? Are they trying to use your emotions, or is something else going on? But it's really, and it's really difficult. It is really difficult sometimes when, especially I try and stay away from the news and all that sort of stuff, and some of the social media thing, and some of the things, it's just gone very extreme. Some things are just become quite extreme, but there's always a rationality behind it. And that's the thing, it can sound perfectly rational. I mean, when I'm having a paranoid episode, everything is completely rational. It doesn't mean it's right, it doesn't mean it's true, but it's completely rational. Or at least it appears to, or logical. So yeah, I'm still getting the wolf's bottom. Get to the bottom of things. So how does sorting that out? Peace. What I said in my, how does sorting that out, the deception and people talking us into all sorts of who knows what, or believing all sorts of who knows what, how does that get us to that, and that was peace. Because conflict energy, it doesn't give us peace, does it? I mean, they usually, quite often they'll use fear, won't they? This group of people is dangerous because, and they're working on your fear, they're working on people's fear. And fear is a great motivator. It really is. Fear, love. So yeah, we want peace. We want the happy ever after, the emotional fulfillment. So there's still some, yeah, the them and us, the conflict energy, the believing everybody's BS or somebody's BS. Yep. Independent thinking is what we need, and evaluating things and sticking to our core values. And that's quite difficult, because I can tell you that no matter what your core values are, in domestic abuse you quite often, I say, lose your core values, betray yourself. And also in the cult, because their values become your values and you betray your own core values. So if anybody's getting you to betray your core values, they're probably not someone you should have anything to do with. Don't learn the hard way. Learn from somebody else who's made all the mistakes. Yep. Finish on a positive note. We're heading towards this. We've had it 3 days in a row now. Happy ever after. Emotional fulfillment. We are getting there, people. There we are then.